Raven's Pass, Witchmare, written by Steve Brezanoff.
Pass, Witchmare.
Between where you live and where you've been, there is a town. It lies along the highway and off the beaten path. It's in the middle of a forest and in the middle of a desert. It's on the shore of a lake and along a raging river. It's surrounded by mountains and on the edge of a deadly cliff. If you're looking for it, you'll never find it. But if you're lost, it'll appear on your path. The town is Raven's Pass, and you might never leave. Chapter 1. The Villagers. Though it was early afternoon, the sky was as dark as midnight and full of thick, low gray clouds. The rain fell across the village's main street. It was hardly a street at all, really. Mostly dirt and gravel, and far too much mud. The villagers stomped through the mud. They carried whatever weapons they could find. Pitchforks, garden hose, ropes, and chains. Several people carried torches. But in the gusting wind and violent rain, the flames didn't stay lit. The crowd marched to the new city hall. The building wasn't even finished yet. Raven's Pass had only been founded a few days before, and already it was in grave danger. They reached the new stone foundation. The cellar had been dug. It had been lined with great rocks from the riverbed at the edge of the new town. The middle of the cellar was still uncovered by the main floor. Really, it was little more than a great big hole in the ground. And inside it stood a woman. She watched the crowd approach. They'd come for her, she knew, but she was not afraid. In her hands, she held a glowing ball. No one remembered what it was made of, glass or stone, or something else entirely. But it didn't matter that no one remembered, because really, the ball was made of raw, dark power. The woman held the sphere up over her head as the villagers approached. Then she spoke a dark, deep incantation. The villagers heard her, even over the crashing thunder and gusting winds. They stopped to watch. Their lanterns flickered and went out. The few torches that had survived this long fizzled and smoked. The skies opened with a great thunderous boom. Lightning burst across the sky, and rain fell in sheets. The witch, with the glowing orb still in her palms, rose from the sunken earth and floated slowly toward the crowd. They screamed. They ran in every direction. Most didn't make it far. They tripped. They slid in the muddy street. They dodged falling trees in the storm and strikes of lightning. One woman still stood, and she faced the witch. Her pitchfork had broken, and she held the long handle in front of her. "How dare you!" the witch exclaimed. She landed before the woman standing alone. "You cannot begin to understand my power," the witch said. She lifted the orb and it glowed even brighter. The witch began to chant again, but as she opened her mouth, a bolt of lightning slammed down from the heavens. It connected with the orb, knocking the witch back into the cellar, into the gathered mud and water from the storm. She sank quickly. The clouds parted. The storm stopped. The villagers who could still stand ran to the edge of the cellar and looked in. "We must work quickly," said the woman who had faced the witch. "We must finish the building now, on top of the witch, before she wakes." And so they did. The villagers worked all night and through the next day and the next, until Raven's Pass City Hall was finished. They all vowed never to let another soul enter that basement. No one thought Raven's Pass would be founded through such tragedy, but the surviving villagers, though they were tired, cheered for the woman who had stood up to that witch, and that day they honored her. They gave her a job that would let her watch over the children of Raven's Pass.